Hey everyone, Alex Kaiju fans coming at you guys with another video. Today's going to be a podcast review on Ultra Galaxy Fight. I have with me here three other prominent, really popular Ultraman YouTubers, and you all can introduce yourselves.
I'm actually alive. Don't worry. It doesn't seem like it, but I'm back from the dead. It's me, Ryan Zetton, in case you didn't know.
Hey guys, Mashowa Forededwa here. That guy who was dead from YouTube because we had to do with live because the live is not just about posting videos, watching Ultraman. You need to get something. Yeah, you need to go and share about of your future. So yeah.
Hi, my name is Optimus Prime, and I send this message to any Ultraman fans out there watching this podcast. We are here, and we are gonna talk about Ultraman stuff. It's PhantomZetton.
Alright. Okay,
Alright, so what are we gonna talk about?
We're gonna just give our thoughts about Ultra Galaxy Fight. I guess I'll go first. In my opinion, Ultra Galaxy Fight was really enjoyable. I actually watched it in English dub, and I actually really enjoyed the dub. It was just funny and really exciting for me. I was thoroughly impressed. I thought that even though a lot of the battles took place within a screen or soundboard type location, I thought that the visual effects, particularly in some scenes, were extremely impressive for Ultraman standards, and I definitely think the series was a major improvement upon what was Ultra Fight Orb, which was one of my least favorite of, it's probably my least favorite of the Ultra Fight series. And yeah, that's just generally my summarization of my thoughts on it.
Ryan, go first.
Right, go first, Ryan.
My advice for anyone watching this watch it as if it was a one big special rather than episodic, because the first time I watched it, it was just okay. But when I watched it fully as a special, I much more enjoyed it the second time around.
Can I talk now?
Yes, you're second. I'm last.
Okay. I thought Ultra Galaxy 5 was pretty enjoyable. It was very unique to see all the new generation heroes together, like in one special. Since it seemed that Subai was already to get this chance, but I didn't thought it was gonna be so soon. And yeah, it was pretty enjoyable. Compared to all the Ultra Fight series, like Ultra Fight Orch, which I did not like it that much. It is the first Ultra series that I enjoy since from Fight Victory.
I thought it was Ultra Zero Fight.
Oh yeah, Zero Fight was nice.
Okay, Sean, go.
I actually like the Ultra Galaxy Fight, though I think there was some issues wrong with it, but otherwise, it was really fun to watch. I actually like the idea of the Dark Ultras and actually bringing Dark Ultra Killer to life. Ultra Fight Orb is a little overrated.
I actually think it's the
contrary. It was due to the Miriam Slugger and Lightning Attacker.
I liked it.
Actually, Sean,
the big problem with Ultra Fight Orb, it's because it was just too short. The things happened just way too fast. They didn't give you much time to devolve the story more.
Yeah, I get it.
I'll tell you this, Sean. Outside of Lightning, I think that the majority of people I talked to, Masura, Ryan, myself, there's actually a good amount of people that don't really like the series.
All right, my turn. What I think about Ultra Galaxy Fight in general, it was really enjoyable. The fact that all new Gen Ultras are appearing to fight against the Dark Army or the Dark Ultras, which is something I'm pretty sure was used before. I mean, imagine an army of good Ultras versus Dark Ultras. I remember was Ultra End Project, something like that, where the Ultras of Land of Light are fighting evil Ultras. No, I'm not sure. So pretty much, I'm pretty sure that this is like a first time ever, like an Ultraman army going up against an evil version of themselves. And rather than I liked it. I only see the English version. I haven't seen the Japanese version because I'm pretty sure the Japanese version is gonna be somewhat the same. But of course, Japanese dubs like there's always like changes here and there and stuff like that. So, anyways,
I think the Ultraman Ginga Theater special had Ultras fight their evil versions.
oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, so maybe the second time.
I mean, oh wait. Not actually the right to evil version because Ginga fought against Chaos Ultraman from Cosmos.
I know, but it's the same concept for every other Ultraman.
Yeah,
except
Ginga.
Ginga. Yeah.
I'm surprised there's no evil Ginga.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Dark Lugia kind of counts, doesn't he?
Yeah, kind of.
And there's no evil Victory. It's just a Telgar.
Guys, something I want to mention. Like, I guess you guys don't know except for Liney, because who watched because on Galaxy Fight it's actually the third time that Itagla comes back because his second appearance was already on the Ultraman Rich Song story because he fought again. Yeah, he fought against Russell Luke, the new generation coach for the. That was like the second time that he comes back, and now on the Galaxy Fight, like the third time that he comes back.
Yeah, I remember.
But
Telgar, he was an enjoyable villain.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was just not too that good on his second appearance because like he just died against weak Ultras instead of Ginga Victory.
I never saw that. I just seen it. I seen a trailer of it, but I didn't see it.
I was very shocked to see that Dark Lugia and Italgar came back, mainly because they seem like the type of villains that are like one-time villains rather than villains you'd see come back frequently. With a Telgar, he only appeared in the Gigas movie and then he came back, being revived by the Ultra Dark Killer, and I find that kind of ironic since a Telgar was the one that
revived Dark Lugia.
Yeah, Dark Lugia, he came back in the Gigas movie, I believe. So
yeah, as a giant man.
Yeah, he was really big, and it was really surprising. I really liked the interactions Italgar had with and Dark Lugia had with some of the Ultras, like Italgar with Russell and Blue. That was a nice interaction going on.
Oh, speaking of.
Wait, hold up quick. That's what Ryan just mentioned. Like was like the second time that Russell Blue fought against Italgar because the first time was on Ultra Galaxy. Ultraman with some new Gen story. So I kind of enjoyed seeing Russell Blue fight against Italgar once again. It was pretty nice. And I don't know you guys, it's just me or Russell and Blue on Galaxy Fight. They kind of look like better fighters than on the series because the way that they fought against Italgar, they didn't even get hits. You guys agree with that? They kind of look like better fighters on Galaxy Fight.
Yeah,
hello.
I personally agree. Just what I really wanted to say about Telgar real quick is that Ultra Dark Killer's planet Tenebris, which really reminds me of Dark Tenebris from Star Wars. By the way, though, Planet Tenebris is basically just a Telgar ship as a planet. Because when they fight a Telgar and Dark Lugia, it really looks like a Telgar ship, the interior of it. Did anyone notice that?
Oh, kind of did, yeah. The whole fortress thing.
Yeah, the whole
fortress.
Kind
of similar too, in terms of like you have three ultras fighting at the exterior, and then you have a couple ultras fighting in the interior, and then you have the tippy top with the main ones, or some of the main ones.
And it also reminded me of the Ginga S movie because all the Ultraman characters would start out together, but then they would have to split off and break off a little bit until it's just the final one, or so it's literally the final two who make it to the top.
Yeah, I personally would have liked it more if they like they were doing with Dark Lugiel and Telgar. They brought back, instead of Ultra Dark Killer creating the whole darkness copy thing, they use monsters. They use monsters that appeared in past series, like X would have to fight Gargorgon, Orb would have to fight what's his face, Magararochi, or somebody else powerful, and then Jeed would have to fight Zagan, because really there's no other options to choose from.
I know.
Monsters. Yeah, but I would have liked that idea more. And I know some people would be like, but wouldn't that be similar to the Ginga S movie, where the Heisei Ultras fight monsters of the past? And I'm like, well, you also got to remember, this is the same company that uses the same storyline 5 times in a row, like the Galactron, like with Orb's Galactron story, where a giant robot or monster holds a main character hostage, and thus making it more difficult to fight. They've used that almost every series now. Rube used it twice, and it's kind of like, if they can do that, then they can repeat the Ginga S movie, and I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I agree. It is a really weird trope to see a character always trapped in a monster. And I'm going to be honest, I really liked Ultra Galaxy Fight a lot more than the Rube movie.
I kind of see.
Yeah, I kind of understand why, because the Galaxy Fight kind of had more plot, even though it was like a bit short. But yeah, I can honestly see where you came from, Alex. But one of the things that I forgot. Oh, I remember. One of the things that I do not really like about, I thought they couldn't make a bit better on the Galaxy Fight. It was if they have the Ultra Brothers, appear on the end to help them out. Because what's the point of you have the Urutoraron Kyodai? So they do absolutely nothing there. They just stand there and do nothing. Just like Ultraman and Seven and Mother of Ultra and Father of Ultra and Zofia on the Gid movie. They didn't do anything.
Well, the whole point, the theme of this special is to show that it's the new generation heroes and their time to shine, and that it is their time to be able to prove themselves to the retired, I guess, Ultra Brothers.
Yeah, but it's kind of sad to see that, because, Yeah, but what was the whole point of using them? This is ridiculous. If they only used Tower, it would be more fun, because Tower was actually the only one who have a big role on this, because he's actually the only one who talks.
Yeah, the other guys were just vibing. They were just vibing there, doing really nothing, really.
That's kind of like the thing they do at this point.
You know what they remind me of? They remind me of the Jedi Order in Star Wars, just sitting there with their robes and their capes while doing absolutely nothing.
I'm gonna guess, Triggear is Anakin Skywalker. He got rejected, and then
when Triggear started talking, I actually laughed, because it was just so out of nowhere, that voice that he has. Now, I have one quick question. Did you folks watch this series in Japanese or dubbed?
I watched it in dubbed.
I watch Japanese.
I
watched it in
Japanese dub because I got used to the Japanese sub. I kind of like the idea that they're starting to do English dubs for some of the things. Now, I think it was a little too ridiculous and all.
We
I thought it
are
was
currently
neat.
fighting against Ultra Dark Killer.
Yeah. The voices, the
I am Ultraman.
Feels like Yu-Gi-Oh.
yeah. It was like you.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
But I'd say it makes more sense
Basically,
here because
Power
Yu-Gi-Oh has
Rangers
14
Yu-Gi-Oh dub.
Well, I personally watched it in dub in Japanese, and the Japanese is, of course, the one that I am most accustomed to because these characters have been voiced by their respective voice actors for years. But I will say this about the English dub. I personally thought the English dub was pretty funny in some scenes, just because the way in which Huh? I'm sorry.
Kind of thought that some of it was annoying because, well, there's just some scenes where I hear some of the stuff and some of this, it kind of makes me cringe. Like, can you even hear Daichi's voice? It's just cringe.
Oh my God, Daichi's voice, and oh yeah, so I almost forgot that that X has no voice. Instead, it was just Daichi make grunts for X. That was kind of ridiculous.
Hey, yeah, feels kind of weird.
Go on, Alex.
Now, I think my favorite voice, despite how minuscule he had a role in the show, was probably Tregia's English dub voice. I honestly
Yeah,
was
his voice.
really surprised.
Yeah. That voice reminds me so much of Tim Curry for some reason. I just got so much Tim Curry. I just heard Tim Curry. That's all I heard.
That voice kind of reminded me of a freaking Transformer from Transformers Prime, Knockout. I think that's the name of the character that voice reminds me of.
He sounds like a narrator to
Yeah,
me.
Trigger. Yeah, Trigger got a real nice voice, and I don't know if you guys would agree with me, but his voice kind of sounds a bit like X's voice. I don't know if you guys would agree with me, but it kind of.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's weird to talk. It's weird to talk about X because X on Galaxy Fight it doesn't exist. His voice, it's just Daichi talking instead of X's voice.
Yeah,
you see,
it's kind of when Daichi grunts.
But
Next.
I'm sorry, what?
Next topic is.
Oh, I just wanted to say one more thing about the voices real quick, the dub. Now, for my personal thoughts, I noticed that a lot of this Ultraman dubbing started back in, I believe it was 2017, or this was around the time when they dubbed the Ginga S and the X movie, and I had the opportunity to actually go watch the Ginga S and the X movie dubbed. And I think this was a different dubbing company from the X movie and the Ginga S movie. The company that did it was Willy Winkler Productions. But I think this one for Ultra Galaxy 5 may have actually been different, because I remembered that in the Ultraman X movie, they actually had separate voices for Ultraman X and Daiichi.
Speaking of X, mind if I bring up one of my biggest problems with the series?
Sure.
One of my biggest problems was the focus on a main character. There really wasn't, like, I couldn't decide who was the main character. Like, it's stuck between the Rue brothers because, they're trying to get their sister back from from the Dark Killer dimension. Then there's Ginga, who's the most he's the most promoted in the in this whole thing where he's he's like center. He's center in the intro. He's center in almost all the posters, and he's the one that manages to give the final blow in the special, and then there's Zero, who who's pretty much like where the series starts with, pretty much, and then Zero's like, oh, Zero's pretty much, they've been there for all of us and whatnot, except for the Rue brothers, because Zero never appeared in Rue Brother Rue movie, but
does appear on the Ultraman with Song Story, and he meets them there.
Oh yeah, the hit song score. I still need to see that.
That's where they first fight in Telger, I think, for the second time.
Yeah, because actually that was the first time that Zero finds Rosenblue. So that's why I coined this.
Oh, cool. But I know some people are also going to bring up that well, the main characters of the special are all the new Gen Ultras, you know. But I'm like, that can't be true. Orb, Victory, and X literally got next to nothing in terms of like lines or even like screen time. So it's just weird to note that you know those three in particular are main characters because well they don't really do anything aside of fight.
Yeah, they don't really talk that much. And speaking with Orb and Victory, I kind of didn't like being seeing Victory saving Orb because like in my opinion it should be like Rust and Blue because you're like no Orb and Rust and Blood for all 50 and seeing Victory there it's kind of seeing a bit out of place to me.
Okay, so what's the next topic, or did anyone want to say anything else?
Let's talk about Reboot.
Oh, all right. Who wants to go first for reboot?
I go.
Oh
I
yeah,
go. Oh yes, Reboot. Reboot was amazing. He fights way better than the RB brothers. Way better. He even handled Trigger like like a man. Unlike freaking oh my god, freaking birds. Unlike the Root brothers who just fail always. And Reboot coming from 3D animation from a kid's cartoon to actual live action tokusatsu universe, it's amazing. They even did it in the past, like joining us, Ultraman USA, and yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
that's
was
what my
cool. Story a lot. So yeah, Reboot was fucking awesome. I really love him. I mean, his design is cool. His fighting style is cool. He fights more better than Gid Ultimate Final. I remember in the Rib movie when Gid could have barely hit Toregia. It was so funny. And Reboot like fits him as a man. I mean, Reboot has no power up forms, and really Gid has a bunch of power up forms. He came to hand Toregia on his strongest power up form, and Reboot can handle it without power up. This is just too hilarious. And yeah, Reboot was badass. He's cool. Yeah, yeah. I guess I have nothing else to say about him. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. He can handle also two Mr. Bad. He can handle two Mr. Bad.
You mean Red King?
Yeah, Red King or Mr. Bad.
Okay. And then Sean, did you
yeah.
want
He's
to go
talking about
next?
Red King, made by a guy who in a server where the server teach him some new words.
Yes.
Thanks a lot,
Do you want to go next, Sean-zilla?
Sean.
John.
Well, I'll give him. Maybe he's doing something. I'll go next. So, for me personally, I am Ultraman Reboot of the Galaxy Rescue Force. I just had to say that. I love it whenever he says that.
That voice honestly fit perfectly for Reboot.
Go.
Okay, but I just wanted to say this about Reboot. I personally think, and some people may disagree, but I thought that Reboot's fight against Peguila or Chandler, whoever that was, they're basically the same soup monster. Ultraman Reboot's premiere fight in the series was one of the most visually stunning moments in this entire miniseries because it was just very vibrant. From a cinematography aspect, the technical details that went into the choreographing, there was a unique moving shot when the two were fighting as if you were driving a car and you were watching the fight. It was very fast paced, nice lower angles with the trees. I just thought that entire fight with Reboot was visually stunning from a cinematography aspect. I really liked the blues and the greens. It was just really colorful, you know? It was like a live action cartoon or animation. And for me personally, I know I could definitely tell that Super 8 Productions learned from their mistakes, and I think that one of the biggest mistakes that I've had, along with some other people, was Ultraman Orb the Origin Saga. A lot of the series takes place in nature landscapes, similar to Reboot's fight, but Ultraman Orb the Origin Saga had a very stale color palette for their cinematography. It was a lot of mushy greens and yellows, so it was a pretty dull series in my opinion, just in terms of the visuals. Whereas Ultraman Reboot, he's just colorful. Even the fight with the Telger is really colorful, so I was really impressed with Reboot. He took on a Telger, he even took on Tregia. It was just really phenomenal performance by him.
Reboot is based.
Reboot is way better than RB Brothers.
Reboot is way better than that shitty ass Gid who can't even.
Hey.
Alright, I went to the bathroom.
Alright,
So,
did
what
you want to
else?
give your thoughts about Reboot, Sean, or not really?
Well, at first I really didn't like Reboot because of the television show. Well, I thought that he was but as I saw him in there, he kind of brought some kind of. I was surprised by his appearance in there. I'm just like, wait, okay, they made a suit. That's cool. I think that his Specium Ray is a little overrated. How they angled it or shot it or something like that. Especially how he's just like a few feet from the monster. But yeah. Overall, I think that I kind of like this reboot better than the one I saw, like what in that little thing or whatever that he was featured in. But you know,
Okay.
So what's the next topic?
Let's talk about Dark Killer, Ultra Dark Killer.
Oh, yes, the villain.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not good. I mean, he's the maybe. I was gonna. Okay.
oh,
Yeah.
I'll start.
Thoughts on
Dark Killer. I thought it was. I thought it was unique that they had brought him to life after
Yes.
like all these years. They finally managed to bring this guy to life. Like I saw like the video game videos or gameplays, the concept arts. Like why haven't I really seen this guy in like why haven't I really seen him on TV yet or something like that? And then when they finally premiered him, I'm just like, wait, hell yeah. They finally actually brought him to life.
I also thought that years ago, mainly because of his awesome abilities and design overall. And I really hope that he appeared in the Ultra series, but he just appeared in a mini series, which is still good.
I
hope they
kind of don't
release.
like the English dubbed Dark Killer. He honestly made me think that it was Lightning just voicing him. Like they just like
What? What?
Wow. Calling out Lightning of all people.
Lightning as Dark Ultra Killer.
No, he's not.
No, I'm not. I'm
That's a
Ultraman
joke,
Star.
I thought you
I'm
were Lord
Ultraman
Atlantis.
So it's my turn now.
Yeah.
I really like Ultra Dark Killer. When I first saw him was on the video game of Pacheco, I guess is the name. Pacheco Ultraron Kyodai. Or something like that. Ultraron Kyodai Pacheco Ultra Dark Kira. I guess something like that. I'm not even sure anymore because this show is now causing me to forget things. Anyway, yeah, he was really interesting villain. I thought he could have been like I mean, he just dies too soon. I thought they could have make a bit more for him. He wasn't he wasn't a great threat like the other previous villains. But yeah, Ultra Dark Killer. Yeah, it was cool. I like how he can make a dark vision of the new Gen Ultras, like just like he did. Yeah, just like darkness version. Damn, he just kept
over the Dark Ultras.
I can't wait to talk about all darkness.
I might as well start because I've been the biggest hater of not really the hater, but like the biggest anti-darkness clone day one ever since they were revealed. I'll start off with the ones that I find the most tolerable, which were G and X Darkness, because they started off fine. It's only near the end when they started, and I started to think, well, they were kind of like, because
They were just there.
yeah, like they start like at the beginning they literally obliterate G and X, and then they literally wipe the floor with orb, which is really cool. But then near the end, they're just kind of just, as Lightning said, they're just there now. They don't really have that much of a purpose afterward.
Honestly, it's
I
kind
have
of
a
one of those.
that,
Keep going.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I had a feeling that they were made just to sell toys because literally like moments after the trailer was revealed, the figure arts for both X and G Darkness were revealed, and it was kind of like, okay.
Transformers.
Yeah. Zero Darkness is kind of weird because the thing I don't like about Zero Darkness appearing here is that it kind of ruins the idea of the character. An Ultra Zero fight was kind of like...
It's because it isn't Belial inside of Zero. It's just Zero Darkness as his own character. That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Mashowa said is pretty much true. Like, the whole idea of Zero Darkness is that, you know, Zero's been labeled as one of the most powerful Ultras to date, and so then with with Zero Darkness, it kind of means that like power can lie into like all that power and like the wrong mind can all lead to a very dangerous, like a very threatening thing, which is the Zero Darkness. Who,
I mean, honestly, the reason why Zero Darkness was there, I guess it was just because they need to have something to Zero to fight off.
Yeah, that's the only real reason. They needed something for Zero to fight.
Honestly, Dark Love Zero would have been a better choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say this because why they don't use Dark Club Zero? But
Yeah,
the point is because Dark Club Zero is not a Dark Ultra; it's just a robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if only it was Orb Darkness should have been like the others, with basically dark skin with some red highlights or something like that.
But they are just too
villain
to
of
make
all time. Orb Darkness.
Blackhead too.
But they're just too lazy to give him different colors. So they just paint his face and his tits with purple.
You just never mind.
And X Darkness, I guess X Darkness was
okay.
Yeah,
I actually like how they also included the Gomer suit, the Gomer armor.
And something that I find weird about it's like X and X's Darkness. It was like X's Darkness used X's Grunt, but a more low version of
basically both all Dark Ultras. Well,
what I was saying, he was using X's Grunt, and one thing about X there, X doesn't use his Grunt because his voice actor didn't dub X there. It was just Daichi's voice. It's weird because like X Darkness has X's Grunt, but the X himself doesn't because it was just Daichi was dubbing, and it's just kind of weird to see this. I mean, the version of himself was like dubbing. I mean, having X's Grunt, but a more lower version. But it's kind of weird to see X without his grunts.
Now, my personal thoughts on Ultra Dark Killer is that he was definitely a lot better than Reboot. I'll give him credit for that. But I still think he's a pretty mindless, generic villain because he doesn't have much of a motivation. He doesn't really have much of an intention for why he is committing certain actions, I guess, necessarily. But, to be honest, though, I really like the fact that he was brought to life from the video game. Because I actually was the one who uploaded the Pachinko fight between Taro and Ultra Dark Killer. So when I actually saw he came in a series, I just said, "Oh, look, my video predicted the future," or something like that. I said, "Oh, look, I found this video. I found this video before he was popular. I was on the Ultra Dark Killer train before other people were, because there are some Ultraman fans who didn't even know he came from a game. So, and then they find my video, and then they say, "Oh, this is the guy from Ultra Galaxy Fight," and I said, "Yeah, I was already ahead of all of you guys."
Yep.
But in general, though, but in general,
I
though,
knew the game because I saw some of last years ago. I saw a video on Nico Nico, is a Japanese site with the Japanese people upload Japanese video, of course. So I saw a video of him and with the Dark Ultra Brothers against the Ultra Brothers. I guess his video was even late, but I remember it was so cool when Dark Killer appears and challenged Taro, and then Taro becomes Super Taro and defeat him. Which I thought it was, oh man, they could have bring this guy on an actual Ultra series to face the Ultra Brothers in a movie. And then and when they brought back Ultra Dark Killer like to face the new generation Ultra, I mean, oh my god, Dark Killer just come back, but not the way that I expected. I mean, it was cool, but I just wish he could have
What
done
do you
more.
think of Ultraman Rube versus Zero Darkness and Dark Killer?
oh, wait,
Oh
real
my
quick,
god, that
Total lame.
series. That was so amazing.
Real quick, I just wanted to finish what I thought about Ultra Dark Killer. I don't have much more to say, but I just wanted to say that generally I thought he was a pretty decent villain. He brought back another villain he brought back some villains that I like, Dark Lugia and Atelgar.
It looks like a pretty tough. He looks a pretty tough villain, and then there he just wrote some blue fuse. Then they destroyed them easy. I mean, I kind of like it but I just doesn't feel like the Ultra Dark Killer is that strong. I mean, it's just too bad for him as a character. I didn't like it that much. I mean, I like it, but at the same time, I kind of don't because, yeah.
Like a reference to that video game where he appeared.
Hold up.
Wow.
What do you before it talk like you just now you said about Ultra Brothers? What do you guys think about that Ultra Brothers thing? I know you guys don't have much to say about it, but what do you guys think about that Ultra Brothers thing? Where this Super Ultra Dynamite? What do you guys thought about that scene?
When Ginga kills Ultra Dark Killer.
No, I mean the part with Taro, the Super Taro part.
Flashback. I assume that was Super Taro. So that was really neat to know that they still remember Super Taro.
Yeah, I remember when I was watching, I said, "Here comes Super Taro," and then it happened. I said, "Yay!" But that was really it. Just like from the Taro movie.
Ultraman story movie.
Also,
oh yeah, what were you saying?
I like when Ultra Dark Killer had a history with the Ultra Brothers. Kind of reminds me of that video game.
And if you guys don't know, but the idea of the darkness, the orb darkness, geek darkness, and X darkness kind of came from the Ultra Brothers darkness, from that game from Ultra Brothers and the Ultra Dark Killer.
Rebirth?
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
Oh, so I thought Ultra Dark Killer, I thought he was pretty generic, but I will say this though, he's a lot better than Rebatos. I will say he's a significant step up from that, because I hate Robotos. I don't like him at all.
But wait, you're telling me you don't like seaweed boy?
Ooh, chica, rega mio.
Like you don't like you don't like how at the very end of the series he turns into that one monster from Ultraman Jack that gets killed by Takong and then gets killed by G, who's really Belial, which doesn't make sense. It confuses me.
Imagine it's not even Geed. Can you imagine if it was Traeger all along?
Yo, what's up?
Can you imagine? Imagine it's not actually Bellio, it's actually Tregear who killed Ribatos.
But I will be honest with you though. I will be honest with you though. If I have to see one more throwback to Ultra Fight Orb, I will probably have to throw a chair off my deck.
Why? You don't like that series? It's the best one.
No, what
You
do you
recorded?
Well, I like agree to disagree.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, I do have to make one reference to. You guys said that Lugiel only appeared in the Ginga S movie, but he technically appeared in Ultra Fight Orb as Vict Lugiel.
Well, you know what? I don't think anyone remembers that.
because literally he was a generic throwaway monster. What is up with Super Hyper
He
Productions and
literally
their
appeared in the
inconsistency?
first episode.
We're on the case, guys. We're on the case because whenever a kaiju looks strong on one special, one movie, or on one episode, they just like after some years they just look like a weak villain to suffer villain decay. That's it. Because just like Gagawon X turn X into stone, and then on Reboot he just dies easily. That's how like Zygor on X.
Yeah.
Was a threat, and then on Gid Gid kills him with easy.
Yeah.
See,
It's a thing to expect nowadays.
you see, in other fan bases and communities, a lot of members of their communities, let's say for example, the DC comics, Marvel comics, or Dragon Ball Z, or even Godzilla to a lesser extent, they like to debate who is stronger, who would win in fights. But I would say that Ultraman is probably one of the most inconsistent franchises in regards to who is stronger than who. Because one moment you have a character that's really powerful, and then in literally the next year they get beat up by the new character.
Yeah, that's how Tokusatsu works.
Yeah,
I have a feeling they're going to bring back monsters like Katanazawa and Zogu. They're going to appear at the very end of an episode of a fight series, and then they're going to be killed in the first minute in the next one.
I wouldn't be surprised
Zogu
because
appeared
it
in
happened
G.
to Zetton.
I'm still surprised that they didn't bring back Grieza to suffer Will Decay.
Oh my goodness, if that happens, I'm gonna actually cry. Grieza was
Dude, I will literally
It would be nice. It would be nice if they bring back Grieza and Rugo Sight to suffer Will Decay, both together. Just Rugo Sight's kind of Grieza ripped it off, as Ryan says.
Wait, but Zogu appeared in G for one second.
Zogu, yeah, Zogu. But as a fusion material, I wish Zogu back so much. I really want Zogu back.
I thought you hated
Technically,
Zogu.
But now I have grown to like her. But it's not about Zogu, it's talking about Galaxy Fight. So let's talk about something else.
Can I bring up my thoughts on Dark Killer since
yeah.
Sure, you can.
I really liked Dark Killer. I remember when I got back into Ultraman back in 2016, I was on a Taro. I had a little craze for Taro, and I heard about this game, and Ultra Dark Killer, and I was like, oh my god, that sounds like the most coolest like villain ever. And then they brought him into a stage show, and I'm like, oh, does this mean he's going to appear in like a
Me
series?
too. That's what I thought.
And then Ultra Galaxy Fight happened, and then he came in like, oh sweet, let's get this, let's go. And yeah, it was really cool seeing him. You know, it's a villain that first appeared in the game, then appeared in the stage show, then appeared. You can add him to the list of
The list?
Yeah, because I feel like that's
Just one quick. I want to say something. I mean, they brought back Dark Killer was nice, but it's at the same time. I don't know about you guys, but at the same time, I just feel kind of a lack of credibility because since the 2009 Subraya is bringing back like characters from video games media because like they brought back the X Red King, the X Gomorrah from the Ultraman Fighting Evolution Reboot to Ultra Galaxy Legends at Series Neo, and then they brought back the old Chaos Roid U, Chaos Roid S, and Chaos Roid T on the Ginga Traitor special. And then they brought back Ultra Dark Killer from that video game from the Ultra Brothers and Taro. It just kind of feel like a credibility. It's like they are now needs to characters from the video games to like just feel kind of like lack of creativity to me. Creativity. Oh, I'm not American, so I don't know to say this word right.
Credibility,
Yeah,
Creativity.
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 Yeah, creativity.
To me, it's honestly amazing that they're able to like turn characters from video games and stuff like that into real life,
Yeah,
suits and stuff
I
like
think
Reboot.
it's cool, but at the same time, it's kind of lack of creativity.
But
Creativity.
the thing is,
Okay.
they have done this before because they already made a Jonia suit and Ultraman USA suit. Even though they're from the cartoon, they still appear.
Yeah, and the same thing with Reboot too.
Yeah, Reboot too.
Oh,
I was
let's talk more about Reboot.
Real quick, I just wanted to say about Ultra Dark Killer. I understand a lot
Yes.
of you folks really like him, and in fact, I don't mean to brag or anything, but I'm the one who uploaded the Ultraman Taro versus Dark Killer fight, which
Yeah, I remember.
I'm the one who uploaded that video, Ryan. But
It was you the whole time.
I was helping Super Ryan Productions.
Oh, Alex, it's like that one WWE thing with Vince McMahon. It was me, Ryan. It was me.
Alex.
Yes.
Alex.
Oh yeah. Yes. Oh yeah. But
Alex, technically, I kind of helped Subaraya because in my fan series, the third season was supposed to be about the good Ultras fighting an army of evil Ultras. If you've seen from my third season, you will see that the opening includes a bunch of Dark Ultras, and then boom, Ultra Galaxy 5 was about that.
that's true. But as I was saying about Ultra Dark Killer, I know a lot of you
Yes.
folks are really passionate about him. But if I were to ask you one question, what was his motivation? Why was he evil? What was his purpose?
To work for Shakir.
Yeah, because he was just a marionette from Trigger. Because I'm from Forededwa.
Yeah, I brought you back, so do what I say.
I will say this about Tregear though. I like Tregear because he's not an inherently evil character. I would say that he falls more under the line of neutral chaos.
Oh yeah, neutral chaos. Yeah, because one of his things is there's no such thing between light and darkness.
They're all the same.
Yeah,
I think Tregear is one of the most methodical villains that Ultraman has introduced in a while, so I actually really like him.
Yeah, I love
Yeah, I
Trigger.
see.
He's really risen the ranks.
yeah, he's Galio, but better.
Who?
But that theory was proven to be fake.
It's Mashowa's nickname for Belial.
I know, but just why?
Toreg is Galio, but
Mashowa.
Toreg is
The
Galio,
theory-
but what?
The
Like
theory
what?
of Trigger, being gay is proven to be fake.
Oh, I got.
Why would
That's not.
Wait, I have a question. Why are there theories about Tregear being somebody? Why can't he just be a new character? Why does he have to be Mebius, Hikari, Gaia, or somebody?
Because
I have no idea.
because they're making some jokes on the beginning of Tiger. That's why they talk. That's why a
Don't
bunch of
listen from a person who's a big fan of Nexus.
And the thing about he being Hikari just because he's a scientist in a blue ultra.
Hikari built the coronavirus.
What?
The best thing about that novel, just to go on a little.
And the funny thing is that Torregia actually works with Hikari and in the Land of Light as a scientist, during, which it says on the novel of Torregia's novel.
Are you sure that's real, or did you got that from a Nexus fan?
No, it's Ryan showed me. Ryan showed me that novel.
Yeah, I showed
Okay.
him.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Um,
Ryan, what were you saying about the Ultra Dark Killer?
I completely forgot.
It's okay.
I literally the one thing I don't like about him is when I watch the English version, his voice actor, it sounds like every generic bad guy ever.
He was voiced by Hugo Weaving.
Wait. He was voiced by Hugo Weaving.
No. Your voice kind of sounds like Hugo Weaving, so I just made that joke.
I was like, oh my god, if it's Hugo Weaving, then I'm gonna laugh.
Wait, what's so funny about Hugo Weaving? He voiced Megatron.
I am Megatron.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, guys, what do you think about the whole Zero X Grigio shipping?
What do you say? What do you
Oh,
say? What?
that.
What do you think about the Pedo Zero dating a lolly Ultra?
Wait, what did you call him?
Nothing. What do you think about the whole Zero Grigio shipping?
Oh my God! It's completely bullshit. It's completely ridiculous. Because basically, like I thought, it's kind of like if she has a kind of relationship with Riku. I love. She kind of like have a kind of bit of romance with Riku in the real movie, and now she has with Zero. It's completely bullshit.
I mean,
What were you, Ryan?
I didn't really get. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll let Ryan talk.
I wasn't saying anything.
Uh, what are your thoughts about this whole shipping thing?
Oh, uh, people are dumb. Don't listen to them.
What were you, Alex?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I mostly just saw it as a mentorship type of relationship or some sort of guardian.
Yeah.
All right.
So, anyways, let's get on with Zero and how, like,
Oh my God,
No.
Zero!
Hey, come with me.
four
Oh.
all basically made transformations with dedication to Zero.
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna be first. First thought when I see Zero in the trailer, I was like, oh my God, again. And then I saw Zero. Yeah, it wasn't. He wasn't even that necessary there. It's because he just don't do nothing. He just stay on that dimension with Asahi. I mean Ultra Woman Ritual, just talking with her and give her some energy and then
Zero
with the save,
pedophile.
then he transformed to Zero
Yeah,
Beyond
it's
just
fun.
for having
Very clean
and
shipping.
just for having summer tough moment with Zero Darkness. I mean, the reason why Zero Darkness was there just for Zero has someone to fight. I mean, it was pretty ridiculous how they
Nah,
brought
I
that.
think Zero Darkness was just
Just
brought back just
have
to
someone to
reuse the
fight.
suit.
Or Zero Anniversary.
Yeah, and to think that I still kind of feel lame. It's like even talk they bring back someone for Zero to fight. They just make like Zero Darkness on his own character, like because Zero Darkness was originally like just Belial inside of Zero's body or Zero's mind. I even
Yeah,
and and then just because of the will to give Zero someone to fight. They just brought back Zero Darkness on his own character, just to
Then
Zero,
again, this is Ultra
which was
Dark Killer we're
lame.
talking about, who basically brought back Orb Dark.
Yeah, yeah,
mm,
but in other character because it's the same suit, but it's another character. Just give paint on color purple on his face and
Well,
his
El
tits.
Telger did
mm.
bring back
He's like, oh,
Ultraman
we make a new
Belial. Well, El Telger made another Ultraman Belial,
It's
so
them
this is
being
probably
cheap
a
as
copy of
usual.
Zero Darkness.
but we actually got that in Taiga, which was the fake Galio.
Nah, I'm talking about in Ginga S movie.
You sound like you
Oh yeah.
tell dummy.
Sorry.
I hate that fake video from Taiga.
I
That
don't
was
Oh
really
my
stupid.
god.
know how Gene managed to actually allow Zero to become Zero Beyond. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just out of the blue. I'm just
Eh,
yeah.
how
Zero
all that
Beyond.
eh.
works.
I
It just breaks the
form. I know
canon.
that.
It breaks the logic on how Ultraman Zero just changes forms now, because he's now able to do Zero Beyond without Leito. Unless Zero somehow went
Mm-hmm.
back to Gene's Earth to grab Leto in like a few seconds, I don't really see how that was possible.
Well,
I mean, he even
the
did that. He even did that on the Ultraman New Generation hit theme song. He was fighting against Hitara. Hitara kicks in, and when Hitara blows Zero up, then the New Generation caps go up to the sky, and then Zero got weak, and then Geed appears. Yeah, and then
No.
and then one and then when the new generation Ultras were together to fight against Itaglia on the Hits New Generation Hit Song story, he wa- he asked Orb X and Ginga Victor to fuse with him to become Zero Beyond once again, just to shoot the right Zero Beyond shot on Itaglia along with Russ on Blue Gates Bean to finish off with that Taglia. So he actually did that
Eh,
on before
Yeah,
Galaxy 5.
I
No.
thought that the whole transformation sequences for Zero Beyond were well. I actually thought the whole transformations with Orb X, Ginga, and Victory using anything Zero related is a little overrated.
yeah,
Zero
there were
himself is
scenes.
overrated.
Now,
Actually,
for me personally, I understand the sentiment amongst the Ultraman community that Ultraman Zero has consistently appeared numerous times, and
Zero
people
has
are.
a purpose.
I'm sorry.
But Zero has a purpose. Anyways, go on.
Yes, I was getting ready to get to that purpose, and what I
Yeah,
was going to state is that when it comes down to writing a script or a story, there's this phrase that is often used within storytelling known as rhyming like poetry. And the meaning behind that phrase is that something that you introduce in the beginning of a story or a series will reappear at the end and it'll rhyme. It'll make sense to the viewer because everything has come together or full circle, leading to progression. And I think that Subaru Productions, at least in my opinion, has done an absolutely masterful job of crafting this type of narrative for Ultraman Zero because Ultraman Zero has visited all the new generation Ultras and has helped them in some sort of way. So to have them fight against Ultra Dark Killer and their dark copies by using the techniques and the abilities that Zero gave them sort of makes everything come back full circle and rhyme like poetry. So I think that was actually a pretty good reason for why Zero was there because it added that link to all the other series and made everything connect, I think.
And then he appeared in Taiga because hey, Zero is Taiga's cousin.
oh yeah, because hey, I in Seven saw in Tiger's Tower son. I mean, it's actually because of that Tower episode 5, I guess, or episode. Yeah, it was because of Tower episode 5 because Seven appears on Tower episode 5 to help Tower bring the
You
torchless
know,
with
Turtle
the.
I
family?
wish Brickstar had had his channel deleted so that way he could just find that Easter egg easily. You know,
I like the turtle episode from Taro.
turtle. So
Yeah, the total episode. Oh my god.
I haven't really watched much of the first generation series like Seven or whatever. I've only seen Ultraman, some of Ace, one episode of Jack, and I've only streamed one episode of Taro with Ryan.
But just real quick about oh my god, I even forgot what I'm gonna say. Man, this series just causes me to forget things. My goodness.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
but
I remember. Oh, just real quick about Zero. One of the things that I don't like about when people complain is that when people like to defend Zero, like, oh, Zero appears too much, but Seven appears too much too. But I mean, not necessary. Here's why. I mean, Seven on the other show series after his show, like on Jack, Ace, Tower, and Leo, he just appear like for few minutes, and then he just go away. Or whenever he decides to stay much longer, he just lose and dies. With Zero, it isn't like that. He just appears to help the new generation Ultras. He always fight. He always win, except for Series and Fight Or because there where he gets too beat up. Uh, but yeah, my point is like on Zero's appears after his movies and special, he always gets more respect for appearance. With Seven, it isn't like that. So that's why I don't like when people compare Seven's appears on the show era with Zero's appears on the new
whoever
generation era. It's
whoever
just too
said
dumb.
that.
Because Seven on the show where he just appeared to die or lose, and Zero just appeared like to blow up everyone.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't. Whoever said that is retarded.
Well,
I feel like it's. Huh?
no, sorry, what?
Wait, what? Huh? What?
Who knows? Maybe the rumors might come true for Ultraman Zero and Z or Zet or whatever his name is.
Now, I will.
Alex,
Yes.
you just give your talks.
Huh?
Just give your talks already.
Oh, yes, I was just waiting for everyone else to be done. I didn't want to cut anyone off. Well, I just wanted to say this. I understand that Ultraman Zero has received and garnered some feedback because he appears so much. But I think specifically in the context of this series, because of the fact that Ultraman Zero has helped all the new generation Ultramen and has given them some form of lesson that they should be able to learn to help them become better Ultramen, or also some ability, power up, or fusion. I think in the context of this story, it made everything come back full circle in this sort of writing technique. But also in essence, if you take a look to Ultraman Zero and the situation that he appears in the new generation Ultraman shows, Ultraman Zero is always the one that sort of saves the new Ultraman. But in Ultra Galaxy Fight, it was the new generation Ultra saving Ultraman Zero. So it was a really nice reversal of the roles, and I thought, at least in this case for Ultra Galaxy Fight, it made a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's kind of that Zero is also
Yeah, I
neat
understand. I understand.
Anyhow, and I forgot to mention the Ultra Brothers there. I mean, there is no reason to have the Ultra Brothers there because they did absolutely nothing, and yeah, it was just to link out the Ultra Brothers.
Taro, because Taro kind of.
Yeah, aside from Taro, he's the only one that at least speaks and helped them on the final fight.
And plus had a secret meeting with Tragear.
I mean, it's not just that, but Alex, does that mean that with that flashback with the Ultra Brothers fighting against Dark Pillage, you think it's like a canon from the Pachuca Ultra Brothers video game?
Yeah, I feel that it was definitely based off of that, as well as a callback to Ultraman's story when they all fought Grand King. And if you really think about it, I know Sean-zilla had this sort of discussion with some of the people on the Discord server. Link to the Discord server will be in the description below if you want to talk to us. But if you take a look to everything in Ultraman's story, I believe that Ultraman Taro was the first Fusion Ultra. I think some people might disagree with me, of course, but at least from my knowledge, Ultraman Taro is the first Fusion Ultra.
Yeah, he was the first Fusion Ultra.
Who?
I mean, Super Taro. You forgot the right name. Super Taro was the first.
Yeah,
Fusion
that's what I said.
Ultra.
Super Taro.
Super Taro. I really don't think he would count as a fusion, but if it's legit, then I'll just get used to it.
I know it's a little bit weird because he pretty much looks the same, but in the movie, all the other Ultras fuse into him.
Yeah, but what about Mebius, though? Yeah, the same thing happened, but Mebius did have a different look.
It's because the Ultraman story movie. You're forgetting that the Ultraman story movie is a show movie, so they didn't have. I guess they didn't even have much imagination to give Taro a new design at that time. So that's why they decided to make Taro looks the Super Taro looks like the regular Taro.
Yeah, there had been no other Fusion Ultramen since then, or prior.
Until Ultraman Legend.
Yes, from the Cosmos movie.
Oh, it's funny because I recently watched Cosmos versus Justice like last night.
Oh, that's nice.
It was actually my second Ultraman movie that I ever watched since I was like 5 or 6 years old. Nostalgia time.
Too bad Ultraman Justice will never return.
Oh yeah, Justice. Love Justice. For Justice.
Earnest Justice.
Justice is a tranny.
Ryan, you did ignore me when I tagged you about Aizen's video on my stories. Why you did that? I totally love Aizen.
I do, but I have nothing. I have no words.
But I will say this though, I will never forget when Ultraman Orb Dark gets made, and then Shregia just blasts him in the chest for no reason, and he says, "You better not forget the real purpose of this. We still don't have dark copies of Rosso, Blue, Ginga, or Victory." I thought it was the funniest thing ever.
It's trash.
I thought it was so funny when Shregia just blasts Orb Dark, and then Ultra Dark Killer, he says, "Oh, what was that?" Why are you so obsessed with making the dark copies of the Ultraman?
Again, we're all accustomed to the Japanese, and the English dub is kind of like they're just starting now to get with it, but it's still a little too ridiculous. Makes me think of that frickin' Gridman English dub America version or something like that.
Oh,
with
Superhuman Samurai.
Power Rangers ripoff.
Curry.
Power Rangers ripoff.
Superhuman Samurai,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yep, the Power Rangers ripoff.
Now, I will say this personally, though. I thought that... What's his face? Oh god, I can't even think of what I was going to say anymore. Oh, wait, now I remember. So what I was going to say was that in regards to the whole Judas Spectre element, and that's similar to how Ultraman Zero makes everything come back full circle, Super Rai has made everything come back full circle too. Because Judas Spectre first appeared in the Andromelos movie, then he sent out Grand King in Ultraman Story, where Ultraman Taro had to become Super Taro and fuse with the other Ultras and defeat Grand King. Then several years later, you have Judas Spectre come back and he has to take on Ginga and Victory as well as Ace, Leo, and Astra, and he also sends out Grand King. So when Judas Spectre gets killed by Victory, he sends out his children, Guar, and I forgot, Gina, I think was the other one's name.
I thought it was his brother. I thought it was his siblings.
Oh, siblings. I'm sorry, it's been a while. So he sends out Guar and Gina into Ultraman X, and so Ultraman X and Ultraman Ginga and Victory have to team up again to be able to defeat them. And so in this movie, everything comes back full circle once again because Ultra Dark Killer was originally defeated by Super Ultraman Taro. So everything really rhymes like poetry in this entire thing to create this one overarching narrative that's been going on for decades.
Yeah, I see your point.
I think that's really fantastic that Ultraman has been able to consistently keep that storyline going on for several years about Taro always fighting against these different types of enemies.
And the sad thing about Judas Spectre that he become a ghost monster on Ultra Fight Orb gets killed easily by Orb Trinity in Zero, in Ultimate Zero.
Oh, that was terrible villain decay right there.
Villain decay, I love that term.
Just that, what's his face? Victor Lugio on in that same exact special.
I know, if you really think about it, Victor Lugio is in the same league as Twintail.
Worse than Twintail because Twintail managed to actually put up a fight.
I know, but in terms of the way how they were scripted, they're in the same league, which is just so weird.
Ultraman Zero loses the Twintail. If it weren't for
Ultraman Zero, the same guy who manages to beat up a giant Belial monster, an ancient Dark Lord with a sword, and
managed to beat a ton of armies of Legionoids and Darkclopses.
And a Zetton that's literally Frieza. He is unable to beat a giant worm and a giant bird.
Zero has gotten weak. He even lost to even one Legionoid.
Oh yeah, the Zebra robot!
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm actually starting to believe that Zero will die in the new series. Because I can just see it. He's gonna die. Belly will probably take something to poison him. He probably got cancer or something.
I don't think so. I don't think
Zero won't die. I can tell you that.
Give it up populous characters.
They can't. They won't just flat out kill out a character that's been making them money for the past 10 years.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I
It
say.
would just be very out of blue to just flat out just kill him off.
I don't mean to
Kill him already. He's annoying.
I don't mean to self-promote, but in my recent Ultraman Z video, I'm just going to go over the analysis that I made. I mentioned that ever since Ultraman Zero was introduced, he's managed to rise up the ranks as people's favorite Ultraman character, being number 3 in a popular tokusatsu pool, with number 1 and number 2 being Ultraman Teague and Ultraman Orb. But as well, the fact that Super Rai Productions has managed to gain extremely higher amounts of revenue since the introduction of Zero, as I mentioned in my analytics. So I just figured that Ultraman Zero won't die for a long time, for better or for worse.
But I mean, we never.
Bro was controlling
they never-
Ultraman, so that way they can kill him off.
I mean, they never. I mean, they never didn't need him on the time of Tiga to Mebius. So why they need to have him forever? I mean, that's why people won't miss him. I mean, because Zero has appeared time that he doesn't feel special anymore. So when Zero stopped showing up, they're gonna be like, oh, I don't miss Zero because like he appears so many times. Oh, that's good. So that's why people are not going to miss him. Like people miss a lot of the Ultra Brothers. Like they just come back like 1 year, or they after then this they took like 4 years to come back. But no, Zero come back every single year. That's why people like get tired of seeing him because he doesn't feel special. They will not miss him.
Ranking on most popular Ultraman.
Huh?
I know he's popular.
What's the
but I mean,
ranking on the most popular Ultraman? Because you said something like Tiga, Orb, and whatever.
Tiga, Orb, and Zero. I could send you the link to the article. I don't have it on.
Who's number one? Who's the number one Ultra?
I think it was Tiga. Oh yeah, but do we want to say anything more about Ultra Galaxy Fight, or did you just want to go off topic for the
Fun
rest of this
show,
part?
very fun. Cringe art shippings, every cringe art from Zero and Grigio. I gave Ultra Galaxy Fight a 6 out of 10.
I don't. I just thought it was as a great, or as a pretty entertaining compared to Ultra Fight or which I really hated. So Ultra Galaxy Fight was nice, and I have nothing else to say. So yeah.
Ryan, I know that you recently joined, so did you just want to talk about... You could talk as long as you want. Did you just want to go over anything else?
There really isn't like much I can think of with Ultra Galaxy Fight. It's kind of difficult to talk about it because like there really isn't much to talk about aside of Dark Killer, the debut of Reboot, and just the Darkness copies in general. It's really just meant to be a little like side series where it's something where you can watch and be like, okay, this is pretty cool, and like Fight Orb, which is pretty much the same thing except really bad at its job. But there's really nothing else I can bring up aside from the fact that it is cool that they made this internationally rather than just exclusive to Japan and whatnot. I really like.
Yeah, bullshit.
I really, I really like how they're now trying to get more into international overseas now, considering
Finally.
that Ultraman is getting a lot more attention over here in the United States and in the in other countries, thanks to the end of the lawsuit of the really bad company that is bad in general, known as Chayo.
Chayo Productions.
Chayo is dead, and I don't think anyone will miss Chayo unless you are evil.
It's Hanuman, Chayo Ultra, such as Millennial, Dark, and Elite.
They're dead. They won't come back. Yay. Oh man, Sean left. But
I like they fight. They at least fight more better than Kid. Ultraman Night, Ultraman Night.
But you know that.
Ultraman Night, Ultraman Night.
Can we just see? I just want to see if there's one Ultra I do want to see come back for like besides Mebius.
Howard.
I would like to
Howard.
see.
Howard.
80,
Howard.
80,
No,
80,
not
80,
Howard.
80.
I want to see Neos. 'Cause I
Yeah!
think that's pretty cool.
地球を見てみるあの一
I really need to
人
see a series soon. I have access to it, so but I really want to see it because it does look actually kind of entertaining.
I did like the fact that Ultraman Ginga, who was the starter of the new generation, was able to take all the Ultra abilities, use Ultra Dynamite on Ultra Dark Killer. I like how this was also a build-up for Tregia into Ultraman Taiga. And yeah, I overall thought it was pretty good. I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. There were still some flaws I had with it, but I overall enjoyed it. Guys?
Yeah.
There we
Yeah.
go. Okay, and then Sean, we still have to have what you think.
Well, I honestly would give it like 7 out of 10. It's got potential. It's just a lot of it has been wasted. But if the potential was really used, it really would have turned out great.
Yeah, it has potential to be great.
So those are my views. Anybody else?
Alright, did everyone else go? I don't think Lightning or Masura went, right? Lightning, did you already go to give your... Oh yeah, you did. Oh yeah, you're the first one.
I say we already.
Okay, then I guess that's everybody. Well, thank you all for watching this video, this podcast. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'll have links I'll have links to everyone's channels. I'm sorry, what?
Except me, I don't have channel anymore.
Well, I'll probably have a link to your Instagram or Twitter page. Either way, though, thank you all for watching.
Link to my Twitter, please.
Yes, I'll link your Twitter and your YouTube channel. Yes, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys do. I'm sorry, what? Okay. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you all have enjoyed this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll have links to everybody's social media down below. These are all absolutely wonderful people. If you all want to give your outros, you can also do so as well.
I don't really have an outro. I just gotta say this farewell. So long, farewell, and I'll see you guys somewhere.
So yeah, guys, that's our podcast, and we will see you all, or see you on my Alex video, or my videos, or everyone else's videos next time.
All I really gotta say is just comment, like, and subscribe for more of this guy's creative content ever. See you later. Bye.
See you all, gamer virgins, next time.
Gamer virgins.
Alright. Bye.